Since we're still in lockdown and all the bars are closed, I wanted to make a series of videos that demonstrate how easy it is to make cocktails at home without any specialist ingredients or equipment. So this video, and like the others which are going to follow, are really dedicated to creating lockdown cocktails with whatever you've got in your cupboard. You shouldn't really have to go out and buy anything extra to make any of these drinks. And I'm also going to show, hopefully, that even very humble ingredients can be turned into really delicious drinks. Today, the cocktail I'm going to make for you is loosely based on a classic cocktail called Treacle, which combines rum with apple juice and a sweetening agent like honey. Ingredients are some apple juice. This can just be cartoned long life stuff, or it can be cloudy stuff. Hopefully you have something like that in your cupboard at home. You're going to need some honey, preferably runny stuff like this. You don't want to use set honey because you'd have to heat it up. And then you're going to need some rum. I've got this supermarket brand one, which is not particularly great, to be honest with you, but it's going to be dramatically improved by the addition of these ingredients. You could also use brandy in place of rum, and you could also use whiskey in place of rum. So if you don't have rum, you don't need to go and buy some. See what you've got in your cupboard. Any kind of dark spirit really is going to work okay in this drink. You're also going to need ice and some sort of way of measuring ingredients. I'm using this little mini kind of thimble sherry or port glass, but obviously if you've got a cocktail measure, that's absolutely fine. This drink's going to be served in a rocks glass like this. We're going to build it straight into the glass, give it a little stir, put some ice in there, and we're done. It's really that simple. So we start by adding our honey. I'm not going to measure this because it's really a sort of matter of taste as to how sweet you want this drink to be. But it's worth remembering that the apple juice we're using is quite sweet as well. I would say a little kind of splodge of honey like that. It's probably like a teaspoon's worth. I wouldn't measure it onto a teaspoon though, because then most of it's going to get stuck to the teaspoon. You never get it off. Apple juice, we're going to do 2 measures of. And you can use anything as a measure really. You could use an egg cup, you could use a little shot glass. As long as you keep the ratios correct, then you're absolutely fine. Teaspoon just to stir it, and what we want to do here is just dissolve all that honey into the apple juice. It's important to do this before you add the ice, because as soon as you add the ice, everything gets cold and the honey's going to solidify a little bit and you'll never get it mixed through properly. Then we add our rum. I'm going to put the same amount of rum as I put in apple juice. So 2 of these measures. Now we can pop our ice in there as well. And just give it a nice stir. Sometimes it's actually good to use the other end of the teaspoon or spoon, or you can use something like chopsticks, or if you've got a bar spoon, then by all means go ahead and use it. Get plenty of dilution into this drink. Stick another ice cube in there. And that really is it. It's pretty simple. So let's have a smell. You get that honey, the apple, a little bit of spice, characteristic vanilla kind of note coming off this particular spiced rum. And taste-wise, it's a pleasant enough drink. There's more of that spiced rum coming through than I'd like. Better to use a non-spiced rum really, I think, if you can. Or a whiskey or brandy, as I say. But some of those spice flavors work quite nicely. You know, cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, vanilla with the ingredients like honey and apple. So everything kind of synergizes together. But also worth checking how sweet your spiced rum is before adding the ingredients, because you might find you've got quite a sweet spiced rum. You don't want to put so much apple juice in there. But this is a really simple cocktail with ingredients that are hanging around most home bars, fridges, and it's definitely better than the sum of its parts. Cheers.